Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is No Dust here. We're going to do some more Budget Shaman ladder climbing. Again, no epics, legendaries, or adventure cards. So let's head into game and queue up. So we're 2014, not the year. We're at 20 wins and 14 losses, and about to head in if my client doesn't give me the funny bones. Okay, here we're at 17 and 2 stars. Let's go. And I may sound a little different in the recording. This is because I've been messing around with some of my levels and my microphone and so on and so forth. Some of the levels in the game as well, hopefully to even out some of the sound, because I think my voice is coming through a little strong in the videos and it's causing a little bit of crackling. So I'm going to try and remedy that over the next couple of videos. So just some forewarning, there's going to be some strange sound things going on, so on and so forth. Please let me know if they get out of hand. Okay, against Warlock, Horse Rider. Do I want to keep a Horse Rider or do I want to start faster? The Horse Rider is a nice 3-drop answer, but I think I want a better chance of getting 1s and 2s. Especially without the coin, the Horse Rider doesn't do a lot for me, although this is decidedly a worse hand, so that may end up costing me the game. We will see. Okay, yeah. So I would like to hear, if you guys have feedback as to the levels of the sound and how it sounds. Fortunately, sorry for repeating myself. Yeah. So hopefully it sounds better. Hopefully there isn't as much, because I've noticed that when I do talk in the videos, when I get loud, there's a bit of crackling in the sound, and I think that's just got to do with the recording equipment. Anyway, let's focus on the game. Looks like this is some variation. It could be a hand lock, it could be a zoo lock. Peddler is actually a great card in both, because Peddler replaces itself in your hand, is actually a pretty good 2-drop for a zoo. Now this is okay. That doesn't actually say. That's also inconclusive. I think we have 2 chances to throw knives at the egg, at the dragon that comes out of the egg. So I think I'm going to try for some knife juggling. Okay, that's not great. But now either a knife on either one of these will be great. So that was pretty good. Like it didn't kill the dragon, but it did clear the peddler. So we're most likely going to lose our knife juggler. But knife juggler's done a lot of work already, so pretty happy with that. Now, you had to tap on turn 3. What does that say about your hand? Anyway, I'm going to develop Shredder, as usual. Now, we are running into some latency issues, so I may have to mess around with the computer a little bit. Yeah, it looks like we're getting some disconnects. So, here we are. All is well, but, okay, that was stupid. The disconnect threw me off. We missed 2 damage. Hopefully that doesn't make a difference. But if it does, it totally is my fault. I take full responsibility, as usual. Yeah, so... let's use the dwarf just to break open his shredder. That's actually a pretty good one. And again, Peddler is sort of like a side nerf to Shredder. The weaker 2-drops coming out of... League of Explorers. Pretty good for how do I say? Now I've confused myself. The weaker 2-drops nerf the Shredder's death rattle effect. Okay, now we have 6 mana. I don't know what I'm doing with the 6 mana. I'm not going to trade these 2 in. It's not really worth it. I think I'm going to try for a taunt. Okay, the taunt did arrive. The question is, do I want to overextend into something like a Hellfire? If you're running a Lotheb, this may actually turn out to be a Reno list, especially with a Lotheb. But then again, Lotheb does have a place in Zoolock. I'm going to develop the Loot Hoarder, but not the Swampoos, because if we do get Hellfire, at least the Loot Hoarder replaces itself in my hand. Even though I don't really need that actually. I don't know. I could have gone either way. I think the Loot Hoarder gives me a nice clear on the Lotheb anyway, if I choose to use one of these guys. Or I could even Time Rewinder the... Is this going to be... Okay, so you're going to Shadow Flame the whole board. That's a pretty powerful Shadow Flame. Although, it did cost him a fair amount of resources. Okay, the question is Thunder Bluff Totem or Fire Alley? I think I can do more with the Fire Alley later. The Thunderbluff totem actually directly challenges the Iron Beak, regardless of what totem comes out. So I think that's the stronger play for now. And the Stormwind Chap next turn. I doubt I'll be Stormwind Chapping next turn. I'll probably be Totem Fire Elemental. So this actually does set up for a strong turn 8 play. So not too bad there. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, fairly good. A pretty good value Shadow Flame. And a Siphon. Interesting. Interesting. Do we draw more cards? I think it's okay to draw more cards using the Drake. And Totem. Do I want to develop the Abusive, or do I want to save it for Reach? My hand is a little heavy, but I think the Abusive will come in handy for Reach. And plus, we can actually Abusive, Rewinder, Abusive to add 4 damage at the cost of 1.5 cards. This is sort of like half. It is a card, but it's not like it's not a card that I put in my list. But Rewinder and Abusive, very useful. Okay, that's not great, but we can deal with it. So I can Elemental. I can Fire Ellie, trade in. Is that something I want to do? Is that something I want to do? Do I want to do any trading in of the Boombots before I... Oh, I could do Abusive. This is a 3-mana play. Abusive, Rewinder, Abusive is a 3-mana play. Then I can Fire Elemental something else. I don't think that really makes any sense. Okay, I think we just do the Fire Elemental trade. Okay, what comes next? Do I want to Abusive into this to clear a totem? No, I don't think so. I think I just totem up to give... The good thing about having a Taunt Totem against Boombots is that they can't break themselves upon the Stoneclaw. So I have more control over where the Boombots go. Okay, this may be problematic. Really? You're going to be very, very weak to Lightning Storm. Very weak to Lightning Storm. I think we heal up. Although, yeah, I think the heal up makes more sense than... Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I would really want to do. The heal up is fine. Just out of range. Now, I can Direwolf. I can Maiden, Direwolf, and then Totem up. Actually, I can save my Fire Elemental. And I think I'll do Maiden Totem. Do I want a Maiden Totem, or do I want a Maiden Time Rewinder? I think Maiden Time Rewinder is better. It gives me guaranteed value, and it also takes the Fire Elemental out of BGH range. It gives me guaranteed value from the Fire Ellie, and these things, it's probably going to do a fair amount of work, but at least my Fire Ellie is protected. Gives me more late game power. But I am sensing a Reno list, just because of I'm not really seeing any 2-ofs. It really feels like a Reno list. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I really do hope that the 2 health doesn't come up to come back to bite us, but you know what? It probably will, knowing my luck. Yeah, this is a Reno list. You don't run a Drake and a Thingo, and it's pretty clear that it's a Reno list. Now we can Fire Ellie Abusive, or I think that works. Fire Ellie Abusive to clear the Drake. Do I even need to clear the Drake? Fire Ellie Abusive cost me 7. I think we totem up and see what we get. Okay, that's fine. I could even Stormwind Champ Abusive. That may be a neater play, because this buffs it to a 4/4, and then oh no, that's not quite enough. Yeah. Okay, good thing I didn't make that misplay. Do I want to clear the Drake? I think I do. Whoops. Oh my god. Okay, I deserve to lose this game. I deserve to lose this game for not trading in the Abusive. That's a really silly misplay. Don't make silly, abusive misplays. Yeah, I deserve. This game is in. I deserve 100% to lose this game. First for missing that loot hoarder. Not that loot hoarder. I don't know what I did. It's, I don't even know. We've got to find a hex, otherwise we're done. This can sort of save me, but the Thurison is probably going to do a ton of work. Yeah, it's huge misplays there. We missed the 2 damage somewhere. I don't exactly even remember where. And I screwed up my clear on the Twilight Drake, so that's okay. Yeah, I did spend a lot of time playing with the levels previously, so had my own mind on some other things, but you know, that's fine. That shows me to play Hearthstone when I'm not feeling, you know, when I'm sort of out of focus. And that big hand being such a big hand being discounted twice is gonna be trouble. It is definitely going to be trouble. But luckily we do get a fairly neat clear. Now I don't need to spend the hex, so I won't. And we can try for a second taunt. Do I want to go with the Stormwind Champ? Yeah, let's go with the Stormwind Champ. I think we need to be aggressive. If we somehow do win, the Stormwind Champ actually puts on a lot of damage on the board. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Reno comes down this turn, just to be defensive. Okay, the BGH. That doesn't actually do anything. What are you BGHing for one? Oh, well, it's a 1 mana BGH. Okay, that's fine. You're actually very weak to Lightning Storm now. And we've got a 1 in 11 chance. It's not... If I still win after all these misplays, well then I guess I'm just sorry to my Warlock Reno opponent. And the double Thurison. I don't expect to win. But you never know what will happen. Now the Pyro will clear the abusive for me. Not much else though. Do we still do it? Do we still Pyro Hex? I don't think so. I don't think we need to. I think I need to save the Pyro Hex for other more threatening things. Now there may actually be an LJ in this list. This is quite useful actually. Now this having gotten this healing tone, it may actually be worth a Pyro Hex because it'll clear the entire board and it'll leave my Stormwind alive. Yeah, I think it's worth it now. Yeah. Because of how efficient the Pyro Hex play becomes, we heal everything up, and the Stormwind, I mean, it's vulnerable to Dark Bomb, but other than that, there's one Siphon that's already come out. It's also vulnerable. Okay, so there's the Hellfire. I'm expecting the Reno to come down at some point. Okay, we've got the Moltons. We do have another Hex for that. Probably Reno next turn if you've played the Moltons this turn. Now my Warlock opponent is running out of cards, but we are also running out of resources, and we are running out of hand. That's the difference. Yeah, if you keep tapping like that. Okay, Horse Rider is fine. I'm gonna have to hope for a Taunt Totem. That's excellent. Gives me a chance actually to develop the Ooze, because the Ooze is then protected by the Stone Claw. And he's basically going to have to Reno. I think he has to Reno this turn, although there may be another Molten Giant in there. But if you're playing Reno, no, you wouldn't have 2 copies of Molten. I mean, you could if you were playing risky and quite daring with the Reno list. And, you know, being very, very careful. Because you'd want to Molten before you Reno. So, it's hard to say. Okay, there's the Star Seeker. Okay, and then there's the Reno coming down now. It'll make a really neat turn 10. Okay, not quite. Now we're in a bit of trouble. Okay. Anyway, like I said, I probably deserve to lose this game for being so unfocused and not thinking clearly. It's fine. If we lose, it was meant to happen because of my poor plays, and if we won, it was just like really, really lucky and really bad luck for my Warlock opponent. So, These are how things are going to go. Okay, so yeah, I made the silly abusive misplay. What else did I do? I don't remember. Things are just slipping my mind at the moment. That's right. We disconnected. And I forgot to attack with the loot hoarder. Okay, you're really going to run out of cards. Now the monkey might be very useful for you. The golden monkey may actually do a lot of work for you. Okay, healbot. The thing is, the healbot won't save you if you run out of cards. Okay, the spellbreaker can work, but it doesn't actually reduce that much damage. I think I just stole for time. If we can even stall for time, how much damage is there? There's 16 damage. We can take one more turn. We're probably still dead. But if I can find a lightning storm and clear his board and just hold on for the last 2-3 turns before he starts fatiguing, we may still win this one. Yeah, I think we're lagging because I clicked the end turn. Definitely going to have to do a reboot my router or something. Yeah, reboot router to stop the lag outs. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of lagging out for some reason. Okay. Now I do need to find a lightning storm. The lightning bolt doesn't really do it for me. We're going to need a taunt. The taunt is actually not too unlikely. Here we are. So the lightning bolt will end this. Or do I want to get... Yeah, I think we need to end the Elise. And we will silence this gang boss. We just need that position on the board. We're probably still dead. I'm going to need Hex on the big Molten Giant. Yep, so there's the Reno. That's fine, because if we can play defensively enough, we can still win. But it seems very, very unlikely that it's going to happen. Yeah, he's got 5 cards. He has to finish me in 5 cards. I've got about the same amount of cards, but I won't fatigue half as quickly at all. Yeah, we're getting a lot of disconnects for some reason. It must be my router. Well, apologies for that. Okay, golden monkey is... Yeah. Is this defensive enough? Hit. 3 to the face. No, it's not defensive enough. We're done. Okay, that's fine. With all the DCing and nonsense, probably shouldn't have been winning that game anyway. So, let me just pause for a brief moment and see what I can do about this router nonsense. Okay, we're back in. I think it should be resolved anyway. So let's queue up. I'll see you in the mulligan. Okay, Shaman mirror match. Clockwork, very useful. Going turn 1 against the Shaman, very, very handy to have a 2-1 against Shaman, because it does so much work against their turn 2 totem. I mean, they probably won't be doing a turn 2 totem, but in either case, it's really important to get board control against the Shaman. So the 2-1 in my opening hand, very, very useful, and unfortunately I will have to Totemic Call turn 2. I mean, I can Lightning Bolt, but we will see how we go. So hopefully I can focus myself up and not make so many silly misplays. Okay, the Earth Shock, interesting. I'm sensing an aggressive Shaman list. It's like a face Shaman list with Doomhammer, double Rockbiter. Murgleton, okay, interesting. Do you run Murgleton in an Aggro Shaman list? I guess you probably would, because you can use things like Rogue Hero Power, you can use the Hunter Hero Power, even the Mage Hero Power is faster than your totems, and your totems aren't actually that aggressive when it comes down to it. You need to enable your totems to be aggressive. Okay, heal. What? Okay, well I have no idea what's going on now. You have totally lost me. Do we want to die Wolf? I don't think so. I think we can totem up. That's the worst outcome, but that's okay still. He's actually slowed himself down even more by playing the heal. And the thing is, the heal doesn't really synergize with a lot of Shaman cards. Oof, okay, that's rough. The heal doesn't really synergize, yeah. Like, the heal is good in Priest because you have Power Word Shield, you have things like Valens. But, and you have things like Orkanai. Orkanai heal are very, very, Orkanai Soul Priest changes your hero power Okay, we're still getting disconnects. It may actually be my machine. So we will have to deal with that. I will be dealing with that shortly. Yeah, I do think it is my machine that's randomly dropping. Unless it's the server. Unless it's Blizzard servers. I doubt it. I really do doubt it that the servers will be doing this sort of disconnecting. But we will see. So I'm going to schedule a restart after this game. And I will continue the video from game 3. But yeah, we will do a reboot just to see what is happening. Although, I don't know. Let's just see how we go. If we run into any more disconnect shenanigans. Okay, abusive. Are you going to go face with the abusive? Interesting. It sets up a Horse Rider Lightning Bolt play, and the Horse Rider ends up protecting my Scarlet Crusader. I think it's worth doing. A little confused about what my Shaman opponent is doing, but you never know what level they actually are. I mean, whether this might be, you know, a beginner player just getting to level 17 for the first time in a while, or it could be like a, you know, a legend player who's just climbing through. You never know, because it's still relatively early. I mean, we're actually halfway through the season. Time of recording is 15th of February 2016. So we're halfway through the season. I'm inclined to think this isn't a legend player, because a legend player would have more legend cards and just a more consistent... No, it's hard. I don't want to prejudge. I just think that a legend player would be probably playing a more meta deck, such as the Overload Face Shaman that we saw a couple of games ago. Here we go. So there is a Doomhammer in here. Now, double clear is fine. You are going to be taking a fair amount of damage. Okay, no, so he's choosing not to double clear. We can, there is a chance that we fall prey to double Rockbiter. Now, what does double Rockbiter do for you? It adds 6 damage. It makes it an 8/8. Wind Fury hits me for 16. And that can happen next turn. Do we want to hex one of our own minions to stop that from happening? I think I'll try for a totem. Okay, I think I may have to hex the totem. I may have to hex the totem to just stop the double Rockbiter. Double Rockbiter costs him 2 mana. Actually, he played Doomhammer. He's overloaded, so he's on 4 mana. He can Rockbiter, and then crackle my face. 16 plus a high crackle will finish me. I think I have to hex my own totem. It may be overkill, but it does take away the double Rockbiter win condition for 1 turn. I think playing it safe, I have to do this. I mean, obviously, if we'd gotten a taunt totem, then I wouldn't have needed to do this play. Okay, it's a healing wave, so no double Rockbiter. So there is a Tunnel Trog. There probably is some sort of super Aggro Shaman in here, but this frog will actually be pretty good in absorbing some hits. I wonder what you're going to do now. And we can actually go Thunder Bluff, try for a Taunt Totem next turn. Okay, what are you doing now? We're still at risk of double Rockbiter and something else. I think we're going to have to go Thunder Bluff, try for a Totem. And the game may actually just be over. Just because of how much damage double Rockbiter Doomhammer does. Yeah. How much damage are we looking at? How much damage do we have? Yep, Lava Burst. And then if there's the double Rockbiter, or even a single Rockbiter plus some sort of other burn. Yep, there it is. So there's 4 damage we're looking at. Is there a crackle? Yep, there it is. Yeah, so the Hex actually did save me from the win condition that previous game, but that previous turn, but not this turn. Yeah, we really needed an Ooze, and we do have an Ooze in this list, but didn't come through. And that Hex play I think was correct, but didn't have an answer to the double Rockbiter. Okay, it looks like our lag issues are okay. Let's risk one more game. Okay, Crackle. Do I want to Crackle for something he might innovate out? Do I want to play that defensively? No. Okay, so just thinking against that type of aggro face shaman, what can you do? What can a list like this do? I mean, the ooze would have really helped. And do we coin something out? I think we do coin something out. I'll coin out the ooze. Because then I can follow up a Knife Juggler and then a Lightning Bolt Direwolf. I think it was just... what happened that last game? I mean, he was able to stay alive for long enough, and he was able to develop the Doomhammer and get a decent amount of damage in. You probably just some good anti-Doomhammer stuff. It's probably like if we run into any more Aggro Shaman, probably more taunt giving, more reliable taunts. Reliable taunts will help. Although he does have Earth Shock, so that does let that sort of shaman can get through. We have Argus, which is actually pretty good against Earthshock because you get to taunt up twice. And the Sunwalker actually does a lot of work also. So I think this list definitely can do work against the double Rockbiter list. Okay, we're still lagging. Okay. Just when I think I've gotten away, they pull me back in. Okay. Is this a server thing? It seems to happen on turn 2 of every game. I wonder if it's a server thing. Okay, now I don't want to feed anything into this keeper. Let's try it. Let's just totem up. Oh, that's not bad actually. But yeah, this keeper this keeper is actually quite annoying. Aspirant is fine. I can lightning bolt the aspirant. Do we want to totem? Do we want to totem again? Do we want to totem again? I don't think so, but then again, all of my other plays are so weak to the 2 attack. I may as well be just, playing a totem. Okay, let's totem again. This may set me really far behind. Okay, that's actually not bad again. And we can lightning bolt the aspirant. Had I gotten a spell power totem, we could have lightning bolted the keeper, but I think I still would have lightning bolted the aspirant to just stop the turn 5 play. There might have been like a Lotheb coming down, or what else comes down on turn 5? Hard to say. Okay, Knife Juggler. Knife Juggler abusive. Knife Juggler abusive. This is quite it's quite awkward. That lightning bolt has actually made this turn quite awkward. Knife Juggler abusive. Okay, let's try for it. Disaster is the knife hits the Druid's face. Good outcome is knife hits the Keeper of the Grove. And again, yeah, we seem to be lagging for some reason. Let me just do some searching around while client lag issues. Little time. Nope, didn't hit it. Damn. There aren't any lag issues that have been reported on Reddit or anything in this new year, so it must just be me. It must just be my something happening with my setup. Okay, the Drake. Interesting. Interesting. What do we want to do? Such an awkward hand against Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove, very, very strong defensive card. Knife Juggler, Totem. Do I want to clear this first, or do I want to try for... I can go Knife Juggler, and then Direwolf. And depending on where it lands... Oh, that was the worst place for it to land. If it landed on the Drake, then we could have we could have cleared the Drake. But yeah, this sort of the Keeper has done a ton of work. The Keeper has done a ton of work, and that Swipe has done a ton of work. Okay, yeah. Well, looks like we're going on a losing streak, and that's fine. I think there's just, you know, due to a number of misplays and unfortunate starts. Okay, now the Drake. What do I want to do? I think I Fire Ellie the face. Again, very awkward to play from behind as a Shaman sometimes. Plus, yeah, it doesn't help that my computer is doing all these random lag. Doing all these random lag sessions. So let's see how we go. Hopefully a reboot will fix things, but you never know. Okay. Looks like we're running into a no, yep. We're randomly disconnecting and reconnecting again. I don't know, it's hard to say. Okay. Yeah, let me just write some. No, so it does appear as if my opponent is just thinking. So the boom out, I can deal with the boom using the Stormwind Champ, but then I still have a very awkward I still don't know what to do against the Azure Drake. Now what we really would like, the Crackle works. The Crackle works. Pyro Crackle? Yeah, Pyro Crackle. It's an almost guaranteed clear. The Pyro is almost also guaranteed to go down. But a fairly efficient clear. Although we're still very far behind. Yeah, it's just the overloads. The early game overloads, having to lightning bolt something in the early game really, really hurts a Shaman. I really don't know what else we can do about that. Okay, the Law is going to be problematic also. And the Wrath. I do have a lot of misgivings about Druids that Wrath low threat minions. I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea. I think we have to develop this to bait the trade hero power, but we're probably honestly dead to something like a Force Sav. So let's see how we go. Yep, there it is, Force. And I think the Force by itself with the hero power is enough. Yeah, he didn't even need the Force Sav. Okay, we're done. Okay, now I will be returning shortly, and we will do one more game just to check on these performance issues. And let's record the loss. So 3 losses in a row, not great this video, but these things happen. Okay, and I will be back with you guys shortly after I've done a reboot. Okay, I'm back after a reboot. Hopefully this has fixed things, but we will see once we get into game. Okay, versus Shaman. I don't think I want to keep the Lightning Storm. It may actually come in handy if he's an Aggro Shaman, but let's hedge again. Let's just try and get a faster start. We do have the cards in the list for a fast start. I just don't appear to be drawing them very much recently. Okay. Alright. Alright. Is the Direwolf redundant? Is the Direwolf 2 win more? Is it also so win more? Like much like the Flame Tongue, is the Direwolf 2 win more? Now we can clear what comes out of the egg with the Crackle. I don't think I want to expose the Knife Juggler right now because he probably has a Rockbiter in hand to deal with this. Yep, there we go. Oh, a Reincarnate. Interesting. Interesting. There's probably a Sylvanas in this list as well. Ancestral healing. I'm not quite sure what you're doing, my friend. Now we're going to roll for the 4 damage. It's 2 out of 3. Okay, that was excellent. Let's leave it for now. I'm not going to clear it until I'm ready. Again, that overload is gonna hurt me next turn. If I had access to 4 mana, okay, the lava shock is fine. I don't need to deal with the egg unless until it comes time, until I'm ready. My opponent seems to have a lot of low mana, high tempo cards, so I don't know what you're trying for. I mean, who knows? At rank 18, it's hard to tell, but yeah. We honestly are running into a couple of pretty difficult situations here. Okay, now, what do? Do I Drake? Do I Drake or do I Maiden Hero Power? Maiden Hero Power sets up for a strong Argus turn. Drake draws me a card. I don't think I need the card draw right now. Let's try for the Maiden Hero Power. Now, if they both go on the Rubian, that's going to be bad. But I highly doubt it. So let's try the Maiden Hero Power. Okay, that's good. So we're not actually going to have the disastrous outcome. Okay, that's actually pretty good there. Because now I can Argus up. And, okay. Totemic. Ooh, the Vitality Totem, not bad there. Are we going to get hit by a Lightning Storm? Ah, okay, you're going to fork me. Now, we may be so far behind that that might actually cost me the game. It's hard to say. Now, is he likely to have any more battle cries in hand? I think we can just Sunwalker up. Yeah. If he has another battle cry in hand and it hits my Sunwalker, that's going to be disastrous. But I'm going to bet on that not happening. Okay, good. And he's actually quite heavily overloaded. And that healing totem doesn't actually do much. No, we're fine with this. We're fine here, and the Vitality Totem actually does nothing for him. So, is this worth a hex? Is this worth a hex? The hex deals with the ancestor, so it's sort of like a 2-for-1. I think it is worth the hex, but then how do I deal with the rumbling? I can hex rumbling. I can hex Argus, but that still doesn't deal with the rumbling. I can hit. Save the hex or something else. What else would I be hexing in this list? A fire elemental? A Sylvanas? We may actually need to hex the Sylvanas, so I am going to hit. Well, I'm going to hit. Now, I think we have 5 mana. Sorry, no, we have 1 mana totems. That always throws me off a little bit. It might actually be worth hexing the rumbling elemental. Let's do it. Could be a mistake. Maybe not. Yeah, again, it comes down to my inexperience with the class. I'm not quite sure how to approach most situations. Whereas, as opposed to when I play Rogue, you know, I have a lot more experience. Okay, there's the fire elemental. That's what I would have wanted the hex for, but it's okay. We still got a fairly good trade. Okay, Spellbreaker isn't going to do much for me here. Although we can Knife Juggler, Azure Drake, Totem. So let's try that. Okay. I think I clear the healing totem. Because this thing provides him no value, whereas the healing totem will heal up the fire elemental. He might want to roll for another healing totem. Okay, Thunder Bluff. That's going to be a little problematic. We're going to want to look for a lightning storm, and that healing totem is actually going to be quite annoying. Okay, there's the lightning storm. I think we do throw the lightning storm. I could totem up to try. What else would I be doing? So this would be... We can still play a Spellbreaker if we need to. I don't think we need to, though. So let's totem up to try for the lightning storm. Okay. Actually, probably should have lightning stormed first, and then gone for the totem up to ensure that the knife would have landed on the thunder bluff, or given it a higher chance of landing on the thunder bluff. We're okay. It's still fine. I think I'm going to save my resources. Yeah, it just feels this list just feels clunky. It feels really clunky. You know, when you fall behind, it's really clunky, and then if you have to play a lightning storm, it still puts you behind. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super happy with this list. I mean, we only seem to be winning against opponents that we should be winning against, as in, you know, players who seem to be fairly inexperienced. So I don't know. Anyway, let's do one more game, see if we can hit 17 again. Let's see how we go. Okay, Warrior. I think I'll keep the 1-drop, and I will play the 1-drop. Earthen Ring, I don't think I want. I probably want something like the Scarlet Crusader, maybe even the Argent Horse Rider. But the Earthen Ring probably not going to be too relevant in the early game here. Okay, but the 1-drop will be useful to bait out Winax charges. It in essence protects my Knife Juggler, because if there's a Winax, then I know I can I totem up instead of Knife Juggling. Okay. There may still even... Okay, the Scarab. A Discover Warrior? What? Seems a little strange. Seems a little strange indeed. It draws you a 3-cost card. So he's going to be able to play it next turn. A 3-cost card. What are some strong 3-cost warrior cards? I think we still play the Knife Juggler. The thing is, if he has a Whirlwind in hand, then it's pretty bad. But then it'll still clear his Jeweled Scarab. I think we can go for face. What sort of strong warrior 3-drops are there? There's King's Defender. Okay, there's the... Oh, it's like a combo warrior. Interesting. Okay. I think we have to try for the totem. Very lucky. Okay. Another Lightning Bolt. Now the Lightning Bolt will set me back to 3 mana next turn. Can I even afford to Lightning Bolt? Do I have to trade in with the Knife Juggler and then set up the coin Thunder Bluff? I think I have to do this. I think the Lightning Bolt sets me too far behind, because I don't have a 4 mana plan, whereas I have so many 5 mana plays. So that's one thing I do have to note. Think twice before overloading in the early mid-game. Now, we do have the Ooze. The Ooze actually does clear this and then set up a very good challenge to the Armor Smith. Although the Valiant is also very good. I think we want to Ooze something higher value. I think the Valiant... at least the Valiant will probably bait out an Execute. Or some sort of reach from the Warrior, so... I think it's a stronger play. This is the 2/2 weapon and the 2/1 weapon. The 2/1 weapon isn't that... Isn't super important that I clear it. Okay. So he's going to... Okay. Wow, you spent a 2/1 and you spent a Corcoran to clear it. I don't know if that was worthwhile. Okay, this again will challenge the Armor Smith. There was consideration to playing the Crusader. Maybe I should have played the Crusader actually. Crusader Totem Up might have been a better line of play. Yeah. Hard to say. Okay, I'm definitely hexing that thing, but we don't need to hex it just yet. We can actually Crusader Hex, yeah. Crusader Hex. And the Hex actually protects my Drake. Or do I want to do a Silence? I think the Hex is so neat, is such a straightforward play here. I think it's hard to pass up. And you're actually hexing like a 6 mana minion, so I think it's worthwhile. Yeah. We are a little weak to AoE effects, the Warrior's AoE effects, but there's the boom. We still have the Hex for the boom. Second Hex on the boom. What else? What would I be doing once I spend the second Hex on the boom? I'd probably be trying for a totem. Yep, second Hex on the boom. Totem. Now, do I want to play a Clockwork to try and absorb some of the boom bots? What am I doing on turn 8? Turn 8, it's a pretty awkward turn 8, honestly. I think the Clockwork might give me a better turn 8, depending on what sort of spare part I get. Yeah, but going against this sort of control warrior with a lot of legendaries. Now, both our hexes are gone. There may still be more legendaries sitting in the list. Okay, that's actually really good, that the bomb on my face. Okay, there's probably a whirlwind coming out. Okay, and that's not too bad either, because now that the whirlwind is coming out. Okay, no whirlwind. Elise, sure, I'll take that. We can lightning bolt the Elise. Yeah. It feels like this is again a Reno list. I'm seeing a lot of one-offs, especially you're filling up with things like Jeweled Scarab. I'm sensing the one-offs, which means there may actually be something like a Gore Howl in this list. So the ooze, I'm going to hold the ooze for value. And I don't know how much a Reno works with a warrior, which has such a defensive hero power. Okay, there's the Ysera. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one, because it seems like a hyper control warrior with Reno. It's just something you're not going to be able to run over. The silence will help, but we need to hope that there's no dream. Now he moused over his dream card. There may be a dream in that, but then again, the dream on the Ysera and then him playing it again, that's actually quite slow too. Okay, the Cold Light, interesting. That's actually going to be quite useful for me. Having more answers to the control warrior, always good. Okay, is this worth an ooze? You have your Ysera, you probably have something bigger. Is this worth an ooze? Okay. Is this worth an ooze? And there's the dream of Ysera. Okay, that's a very slow play. Yeah, that's the problem with silencing Ysera. You don't actually have much recourse. Okay. Let's try for some juggles. See what we can find. Okay, that's not great. Heal up. Okay, that's not great either. I do want a knife on the Fierce Monkey. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to save the ooze. Oh, there we go, there we go. So we've got the lightning bolt here. Now the Ysera may be too slow. We have a lot of damage on the board, and he's going to have to spend some of his health to clear. Yeah, I think the Ysera is too slow to be played from hand. Are there some elements of dragon in here? Okay, Jouster, that's strange. It's like a hyper control warrior. Okay, that's fine. That's actually pretty good. Now we did see the MCT, so I'm going to want to see if we can play around that. Okay, shield block. We do have board control. We do have board control. Lightning Storm does work here. How much damage are we looking at? 8, 13. 13 damage. I think we need to Lightning Storm and then just go face. I think I need to be aggressive here. If we get a lucky clear of the Azure Drake, I won't need to trade anything into it. Okay, that's excellent. The Ysera is going to be too slow for him to play. Does he have something like a Revenge? We're still looking at 13 damage. He can shield block armor up to put himself. Shield block will add 5. That's 12. Armor up will add 7 in total. That's 14. I think I need to play the ooze to push for lethal. We're in a lot of trouble if there's a Revenge. I wouldn't put it past a list like this to run a Revenge. Okay, that's fine. That's actually not defensive enough. The Reno is, so that's going to be a problem. See, I sort of had to hope for the Reno not to be in that list. How much damage are we looking at? So I've got 8. I've got 16. I don't think I can leave this board up though. Hit. Let's see what we find from the loot hoarder. The horse rider can actually help. So I think I'll trade this in. And we go face. I'm going to leave this thing frozen. Again, the Ysera is going to be too slow. We do have a lot of board control. Again, very weak to the revenge. I think I have to be aggressive against this sort of list. Now there wouldn't have been a second shield block actually. Okay, this is really, really slow. Execute. Okay, how much damage are we looking at? Sunwalker will do work here. Whoa, okay. Wow, somehow we made it. I didn't even count the damage there. But somehow we made it through. Yeah, I think you need to just be super aggressive. I think the dream on his Ysera, I think he lost himself the game by dreaming the Ysera so soon. I think the Ysera would have done a lot of defensive work. Just as a big minion with a ton of health that could clear my little guys. Yeah, I wouldn't have forfeited there. I wonder what was in the warrior's hand that made him concede at that point. But luckily, we clawed back 2 wins towards the end of the video. Did we claw back 2 wins? Did I win against that shaman? Did I? I don't even remember. My mind is in a haze. But somehow we're back at rank 17, so I'm pretty happy about that. But although not very happy about the 3-win, like the losing streak at the start. I think it just comes down to having some more experience. Actually, I will consider whether the Direwolf is 2-win more. I mean, Direwolf can be played on turn 2, but I think it's too slow. I honestly think that it doesn't do enough in this metagame. What would I want to play on turn 2? A Totem Golem? I think a Totem Golem slows me down too much as well. Possibly even a Stormforged. A Stormforged can do good work, but then it's not great against the aggro lists. A Bone Guard? Or possibly a second Ooze? It's tough. Or even a second Pyro. The second Pyro is very defensive, but I don't actually have a ton of spells to combo with the Pyro. I could actually go take out an Abusive, put in a second Clockwork, and add in a second Pyro. It gives me a lot of more defensiveness, and it gives me more like sort of board flip. Should I try that? Let's try that. Yeah, let's do some deck changes because we're not really getting anywhere with the list as is. So we're going to take out 1 Abusive in 1 Clockwork, and especially since the Clockwork is going to be cycled out in standard, might as well give them a go, and then take out 1 Direwolf in 1 Pyro. Okay, and now Abusive is common, Clockwork is common, so we're not going to change. We don't have a second Abusive, that's fine, I can always craft one. I mean, we don't have a second Clockwork. And the Pyro, the Direwolf is common, the Pyro is rare. So, we do have a second Pyro. So it's a net 0 on the Abusive Clockwork change. The Direwolf Pyro is dust 60 up. So we're increasing deck cost by 60. I think this gives us more board clear and board flipping potential, and I think that's quite useful. I may actually even want to think about the Loot Hoarder coming out even in this instance because of it's not great against the Pyro. It's not great. It doesn't synergize very well with the Pyro. I mean, neither does the Clockwork. I don't know. It's just this list is giving me a little bit of a headache in this metagame. This list is giving me a little bit of a headache, and also I do need to consider whether Darkhind is too aggressive. Do we want to play a little more defensively? Is Dark Iron too aggressive? I can't actually guarantee that I have something on the board to Dark Iron. Stormwind Champ. Is it too aggressive? Is it too aggressive? It does work well with the Argent Horse Rider. I don't have any other charges, actually. And Dark Iron isn't something you actually want to play on turn 4. So actually, I'm going to do one more change. Dark Iron out. And for Senjin, I'm going to take the Dark Iron out. I think the Dark Iron is a little too aggressive. I think we're hoping for too much with this list. The abusives don't actually end up doing anything for me because I often have to play them on turn 1. So I think the Clockwork is much better value there. And the Dark Irons often I don't actually have board control on turn 3 either. So although they do give a good amount of reach for dealing with things like Turisan and other big minions. But let's just try it for now. Let's make some changes because obviously this list isn't really, it's not helping us. We're not climbing at any sort of rate. It's just, we're sort of just hovering around rank 17, 17, 18, 19 sort of thing. And I do want to see if we can make some more progress. And, you can't make progress unless you make some changes. So the Senjin comes in. Senjin and Argus gives us a lot of mid-game defensiveness. Argus sort of does the same thing as a Dark Iron, but actually Argus is better in the late game as a Dark Iron, because if you're behind, the Dark Iron does nothing, but if you're behind, you can, at the very least, totem Argus to put some defensiveness on the board. Okay, so the Senjin comes in, Dark Iron out. Now, I think the Dark Iron is a common. Yep. So, and Senjin is soulbound, so it's 40 dust down. So in total, in conclusion, it is 20 dust up for the list. And I will modify the overlays before we finish up. So let me do that. And I will be right back with updated overlays and dust costs. Okay, I think everything's updated. We've got the 1512 dust cost, 1520, sorry, and double wild pyro Senjin in. Let me just check the overlay. Senjin in. Yep, and the Dark Iron out. This is a much more defensive list. Honestly, I don't know whether this is too defensive. Our win conditions are sort of Stormwind Champ, Fire Ellies, and the Thunder Bluff Valiant. I think that's okay. I think that's enough in terms of win conditions, and the rest is sort of get me to the late game, where we get big totem value and whack them in the face with Fire Ellies. Hopefully that's enough. Probably will run out of steam against the Hyper Control list. But I mean, this sort of budget list was always going to be mid game. You don't really have access to the big legendaries that allow you to play hyper control and hyper high value, and don't really have access to League of Explorers cards that allow you to play like Discover, making your list bigger. Anyway, let's finish up there. So thanks in advance, guys, for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I do this for love, and the gestures of appreciation are much appreciated. And hope you guys are enjoying the Shaman climb. It's okay. It's got its ups and downs. I will see it through to the end of the month. I'll see how far we can get. I do think that we will make some slow progress, because that's just how the ladder works. As you get towards the end of the month, a lot of people have, people end up at their designated ranks. And people are probably still climbing at the moment. So anyway, I will be back with some more Budget Shaman in the near future. And until then, this is No Dust signing off.